Probably you're asking yourself what you can do with CRM Sales Machine Lite. Well, actually, you can do a lot of things. Um, First of all, after registering, you can enter and start importing or entering your clients and prospects. For this example, we're gonna import 5,000 records. So we're gonna go to the setup and click import, and then click import from other formats and contacts. We can map 5 different set of fields. You can map and we can import from different sources. We can import from CSV, which is pretty much the default format to import, Tab, Excel, DBase, and certainly FileMaker. And in this case, of course, I have this prepared already, so the fields match perfectly, but otherwise you will be able to match the fields and click import, and in a few seconds you can have the 5,000 record imported. From these 5,000 you can select a smaller number that will be good for sampling, so you know that you have mapped correctly. Now we have the 5,000 imported, and no data is good if we cannot find it. So in order to find the data, we have a very powerful find or search system in CRM Sales Machine Lite. By clicking here, we access either the quick find or the full find. So for example, let's say that I type John. Well, if I type John, I'm finding all these. I'm finding 110 Johns. Notice that not all the names are John, but could be a last name, could be even in the email or in other places. So not even the first word of the company, could be the second word, the third word, whatever. So this is a very important way to find, and because you're gonna make a multiple finds, and in a cross reference from many fields like the first name, last name, company name, phone numbers, all the phone numbers, keywords, product codes, URL, referrals related to a state and ID, all in one pass, as opposed to most software where you need to create or enter the data. But you're gonna see that also that option is available. So for example, let's say that I say Johnny New York. I can do that, put New York, quick find. Now I have Jones in New York. Let's say that I want New York 212 John. So now I can put it in any order, so I don't need to specify a specific order to put area codes or phone numbers or URLs or emails or anything. I just simply put whatever I want, and then I get the result I expect. And even if it's not exactly, well, the list is short enough so I can click on it and find. So in this particular case, maybe I knew that it was John or Johnson or Jonathan, but I put John, and it was enough to find John in New York with area code 212. Also, we have a full find, which works similar to other software, but not quite, because we have the ability to enter ranges like less than, or to check for duplicates, or to check for fields that are not empty, or vice versa, that are empty, or if it was created on a certain date, or the strategy status, or the credit card information, etc., or even if it belongs to a particular group. So we have the ability to request many information, in this case precisely, which means I will click clear fields first to be sure that I don't have any data previously, and I can put, for example, John, and I can put, for example, New York as I did before, but the difference now is basically that it's going to be certainly only names Jones with in New York, and I can do it from the found set, extended, omitting even these records from the current selected group, and or simply find them from all. In this case, I only found four, and I can see them in many ways. I can see them in the quick list right here, or I can use other lists. We can go to a list view here and see it in a 3 lines view, 1 line view, multitask view, and even selectable fields view that allow you to select what do you want to see in each field. So suffice to say that that is very easy and very convenient and very fast, as you can see, to create any kind of groups and work with that group immediately. Talking about groups, we have several kind of groups here, contact groups, that you can use for absolutely unlimited uses. We have 60 what we call one-click groups. Like for example, let's do this so you can get the idea. I selected actually all of them by doing this, and now I'm going to actually go to the first one and omit or delete this one that is blank that was previously. And from this 5000, I'm gonna select just 10. I'm gonna do that by clicking this button with Shift. And I have these 10 selected, and let's say that these are prospects. So instead of marking them or checking them one by one, I'm gonna click this setup or the set button here and click selected. So I'm gonna mark them all in this group, which means that now I put them all in this group. Now I'm gonna select, let's say that I'm going to select them all again. Now I'm gonna go to number 10 again, just go. I can go and omit, which is what I did before, but so by clicking go, I'm in record number 10, and now I'm going to omit actually several. So I'm going to omit the ones above, and this one now I'm going to select, let's say, the 25. And this is just to create a second group here, or to assign actually to this so-called clients group or prospect groups. Obviously you can change these labels. These are just examples, but you are in control in the setup of all these labels. But for example, if right now I want to click prospects and select them all, I will click that, and I have these 10 selected out of the 5000. And if I want to select the so-called clients, I can do the same, and I will have these 25. So that will be a way to create groups and manipulate with the one-click groups. We have many ways to create groups, by the way. Once you have created these groups, it's also possible to create charts based on that. So for example, let's say that we have these prospects and clients. So this one, they share one only actually. So if I do a chart on this 25, I see that it's 1 and 25 in the chart. 25 clients, 1 prospect. If I for example expanded one to the other, I would do, for example, prospect expand. So now I have 34, and if I do a chart on those, they will be reflected. The change will be reflected. So I will have 10 for prospects and 25 for clients. So you see the power, and this especially is used on these techniques with telemarketing disposal of the calls, that you can also change and have different. You can dispose of the calls that you have with your prospects and analyze it at the end of the day in a chart. And then we have other groups here that you can change the label, and we have also the user-defined groups, which basically you can use for anything, absolutely for anything, and create groups of any kind and manipulate them to your heart's content. So we have it here, we can put it in the center, we can have it at the bottom. So different ways where you can have those groups available. And in particular, if I do let's say I do this 34, I can add a group, and I'm gonna add it for self, and I'm gonna put test, and I could, for example, set this 34 in that group, and it would be as simple as that. Even if I lost them here, I could retrieve them just by clicking on it, find from all, and I come back to the 34. So there are many ways to create groups. We have the on-the-fly group, for example. I can say I can put, for example, a find to as I did before, John in New York. I can do something like this and create on-the-fly group with that just by clicking the add button, and then maybe I can find maybe Texas, and assuming that these are all of them Texas. This is not Texas, but it has a TX here. That's why it was selected. So you need to be careful with that. Don't assume that it is a state. If you want to be sure, you can do the full find and put Texas in the state, and that would be perfect. But if you don't want to do that, this is just an example. I can add these 283 to the one group, on the fly group, and when I want the result by clicking number 1, I can say that I have 296 comprised of Texas and John in New York. So really a disparate group that I created on the fly just by see, when I did like this, I can sort it, and I can see that we have Texas and New York, and then we have these that are for the same reason, the TX that is in other places. So this one actually don't belong to Texas. If I really wanted that it would be only Texas, that would have been definitely going to the full find, and select Texas in the state. Majority of time what you want is to find information, and I can do find from all. In this particular case, I'm gonna find absolutely only the ones from Texas, which is 281. So one of the most important features for your business is the ability to send contacts or group of contacts to other CRMs as Machine Light or other compatible software like Credit Money Machine, our professional version, the one that is not light. And for example, let's say that I select the group of prospects or whatever that I had here before, 10 at the beginning, and then I wanna send that group to another computer. I could select which fields I want to send, and like this one, and I can check some other fields that I want to send, or all set, etc. And then click continue, and it will create either for current or for the group selected, in this case 10, it will create a native file that will be able to be sent as an attachment on an email, and then import it with this button. So in this case it's exporting. We don't have an email program associated like Outlook in this computer, otherwise it would have opened Outlook, and you need to send that file, and it's gonna be when you receive it in a different computer, in a peer of yours, for example, it will be able to import it by clicking this button from, if you have it as an attachment, you have it in your hard drive, you're going to be able to import in a different computer. So that way you can import and export fields, like could be the case when someone receives a list and want to distribute between telemarketers or similar situations. We also have a very powerful here reports. So reports and labels, and while we are not gonna go over all of these, but we have a way to print labels and print information, including letterheads or envelopes or a contact list, etc. And based on the group that you have selected, for example, that would be the case, or another particular labels, spine labels, and other kind of reports that could be useful in your for your business. You can check the validity of addresses by clicking this button C+4 um, uh, with the postal service, and once you have the correct address, you can pretty much grab it, highlight it, and copy that. I think I have 3 lines instead of 2, and then import it. Probably it's gonna be wrong. Yeah, it was wrong because I grabbed actually 3 lines as opposed to two lines in the I should have done it only with 2 lines, but it is important. Well, all of these are tests, so we might be a little bit unlucky on dates here, on addresses. Let's say that this one is okay. You see, I'm grabbing 3 lines. I need to be more careful and grab only 2 lines, and then I can import it, and I will have, you see, import it as planned. As you saw before, we can manipulate the data very quickly and in many ways. So for example, even selecting the 5,000, we very quickly we can manipulate the data by doing sortings, for example, very quickly, as you can see, ascending and descending. Or we can do a few tricks here with this omit, not deleting, but omitting. So for example, I can be here, I can go to number 50 or number 100, for example, and then I say, okay, just go. I can say go and omit, for example, and that would be, you know, perfectly right. And in this case, I'm selecting the first 100, but now I'm gonna go to number 25, and I'm gonna do the opposite. So I'm gonna go to number 25, only go 25, but I'm gonna click omit here and omit the records above. I could do it below, above, whatever. So you know, so I can manipulate the data in sortings, finds, in many ways that are really easy. Also, for example, let's say that I have 2 records, and assuming that I'm gonna do it simple here. I'm gonna select 2 records, and I'm gonna pretend that these 2 records actually belong to similar, or actually the same client or the same prospect, and I can compare these 2 clients, either one to second to the one, and copy the information. So if it was from the same client, from the same prospect, I would be able to pretty much fill in the blanks, so to speak, and move the correct data or the missing data from one place to the other, and or even add emails to the list, which happen frequently, that you have several emails or URLs, and you can see it asks you if you want it first or second, in order to have a different order. And once you have that, you can, well, do nothing, or update it and delete the one that you discard, basically, which in this case, that's why we have here $49.99, and we have updated this record with that information. That is a very useful feature. One of the most powerful features in CRM as Machine Light is the Task Manager. This Task Manager is quite unique in the sense that not only does the obvious thing of creating a task that you can, well, You can make changes and schedule in days and time and priorities, etc. And based on your parameters in the setup, it will be triggered automatically or not. And you can have even automatic let me delete this one. You can have automatic follow-ups, like by doing like this, for example, clicking the follow-up, and it will be based on the notes, and then you schedule, and you can do even very quick scheduling, like for example next week I just click with control and I have these options that I schedule this task. But most importantly actually is the ability to do a multiple task, and that will be done, for example, let's say that I select again 25 records from here, and imagine for a second that these 25 records are a prospect, and you have I'm gonna call it a prospect strategy. So, and I'm putting a dash. The instructions are right here in the pop-up in the tooltip, and I'm gonna say, for example, okay, I'm gonna do a welcome email for this client, and then tomorrow I'm gonna do a follow-up a phone call, and then the same day, which is tomorrow, so that's why I put in 0. I'm gonna send contract, and then in 3 more days I'm gonna follow up on the contract, So basically what I'm doing here is 1, 2, 3, 4 different tasks, and that on different dates, and that I want to introduce or enter into these 25 records, into these 25 prospects. So that would be pretty time consuming usually, and with this one I only need to click insert in found set. I will be able even to assign it to a different user, and then in this case I'm gonna do it for self, and it will be right now it will be creating how many was I think it was 4. So basically what we have done is to create 4 tasks for each of these 25 records, and as you can see, these had been different dates, or they are different set on different days as appropriate, as we plan with the days in between, and they work in real time, which is very important. So for example, we do this today, and it goes to the history, is logged into the history, and now these are for the next day. But if I do this today, like for example someone comes to the office, instead of having to follow up the next day, well, what's going to happen that this one is going to move to today, because already I'm going to give the contract, and this one, instead of following up on the 26th, I'm going to follow up on the 25th. So that would be pretty much automatically, you see, 22nd, 25th, and then and it's also recorded here, and with the name of the person that did it. Right now I have that name as agent, but obviously in the agent privileges you have the ability to set up any names and make all the changes that you want here, and you can have unlimited users in one computer. And so this is a very important feature, because already just to do this 25 times 4, 100 tasks would have been if not impossible, extremely time consuming in any other system, and this one is, as you can see, extremely easy and ideal to do prospecting, etc. You have many features in Credit Money Machine, in CRM SaaS Machine Lite, sorry, but one of the ones I like is the ability to have unlimited documents that you can have here. For example, I'm gonna put test, and so you can, with this area, you can enter unlimited extra fields. You have the basic fields here. You have other kind of fields that are called user-defined fields that you can enter from here, or by clicking shift with here. in here, and these are the user-defined fields, and then you have the extra fields, and these extra fields are designed to is a multi-purpose field, so you can have documents here, so you can have, for example, a PDF file that you import, and then you can run it with these documents, Word documents, etc., etc. But one of the nice features is the scan feature, so you can scan features into a file that will be saved in your hard drive, but at the same time you're going to be able to play it. So it's going to be scanned, converted into PDF, put it here automatically, and then you can run it by clicking this button. So you have a lot of functionality in this area that you can play with. We also have an integrated personal agenda that is not to interact with your clients, since you have the task manager, but instead is for your own use. So you know, appointments, meetings, etc. And it's very easy to use. Actually, you can add unlimited tasks to let's put a meeting, and this meeting can have an actual date and an actual time, but it might have a different I put 12 so I'm gonna put next day, so I don't have it read, but you can maybe want to be advised today, and at a certain time, and then, well, you can have a bunch of tasks on different dates. Dates with the task will have an asterisk, a star, and also you can have a week view that will tell you pretty much at a glance where you have your meetings or other things that are related to your particular and personal meetings, or personal actually tasks. Another very important area is the virtual desktop. A virtual desktop manager. Everything in blue, in dark blue, can be used by you. The areas grayed out are only in the advanced version in the CRM sales machine without the light. But you can explore also. For example, let's say that you go here and to the financial, and we have in the grayed out pretty much everything, and but you can explore what is inside by clicking this question mark, and it will pop up a window with a picture and a short explanation. So in particular, this is our invoice system of the professional version, and etc. So you have the ability to very quickly know what they do and how they look just by clicking those question mark buttons. And as I was saying, this important area, virtual desktop manager, that is going to help you to eliminate the clutter in your Windows desktop, and it's a very powerful thing. So for example, here you can see I have 129 icons, or that represent, and actually, as a matter of fact, they do, and they go to different programs or files. So I can say, for example, I can group them, and in particular, if I click here, I have this group here, which is absolutely disparate, but it's a group, just to show the ability to do groups. But I could say, for example, give me of the ones that I have in this particular computer, or I can do, and you see, and it gives me all these, or I can say, or I can go to marketing and give me all the ones for marketing, and I have 82 selected. So again, this is an absolute great area to control all your software, videos, and PDF, and everything that you don't know where to put. For example, if you buy marketing programs, and you buy courses, things like that, most of the time you don't even know what you put them, and with that, it's very easy to control and to not only know but to find them, because that's one of the most important things. Finding the information is the key. Finally, I would like to show you the use of snippets. So in some places of the program we have, like here and here, we have these so-called snippets, and the snippets, what they do basically is to produce consistent entries. So for example, if I want to put here in this node that I send a contract, well, it would be pretty easy to have a snippet to say a contract sent, maybe a contract sent, and I can add another one. I can add limited, and another one. It could be left a voice message, for example, voice message, and so these letters serves, just to filter and stuff. But most importantly, this I enter, and I can insert that particular, and it will put the time, the date, who did it, and so for consistency this is great, saves a lot of time. Also, if you do consulting or a similar kind of a business that you're gonna charge by your time, or at least you want to know the time, you can use this timer, where you can start and put whatever is the description, I mean consulting, and then well, it's gonna start, and when you finish, it's gonna give you here the elapsed time, but when you finish, it's gonna record it into the history. So if I do it right now, obviously it's gonna be just seconds, so it's not gonna be much. So I can stop it and put okay, great, client liked it or whatever, and now is recorded here as a log. Consulting elapsed 0 hours 0 minutes. So it was less than a minute, so 0 minute, but it doesn't count the seconds. But if it was more than a minute, it will be here. And then is the how we know what was the consulting time. So I thank you for your time, and of course you have to explore. The system has much more than I've shown at this moment. This is not by any means a training video, but actually just overview of the different features. Again, you can see here what you're missing just by clicking these buttons, and see how they look, the different areas that will be available in the professional version related to many things, that you would like to have, most probably, if not now, in the future. But in any event, we are glad that you consider using CRM Sales Machine Lite. So thanks a lot for your time.